check, make sure everything's okay. All right, audio sounds good. All right, guys, welcome to part 5 of the Madden 24 New England Patriots rebuild. I'm your boy Malin coming at you guys with another Madden 24 live stream. So we wrapped up the preseason in year 3 of the Patriots rebuild. We are in the 2025 season, and we're getting ready to start off the year against the New Orleans Saints. And I want to go ahead and give you guys a look at the roster because if you guys watched the last live stream, we've got a new quarterback. Yeah, Tua Tagovailoa is our new quarterback, 91 overall. We signed him this offseason to a decent contract. Really need to upgrade with that. Kirk Cousins is now our backup. We signed him off the scrap heap in free agency. He's down to a 71 overall, so his overall looks like has rapidly diminished since we started up this particular franchise. And Bailey Zappe's our third-string quarterback. Our starting running back, once again, will be Ramondre Stevenson, and Travion Henderson is back as our backup at 79 overall, and Lou Nichols is our third stringer. We didn't really do any upgrades with the running back position because Stevenson in 83, there weren't really any running backs in free agency that I really feel like were better than him, so we're going to roll with him. And we signed Patrick Ricard as our new fullback, 82 overall. He fits our scheme. Juju Smith-Schuster is back. So is Kendrick Bourne, as well as Devontae Parker. Rome Odunze is still here. Demario Douglas is still here. And so is Tyquan Thornton and Keyshawn Boutte. And our starting tight end, once again, is going to be Gesicki at 82 overall. We still got Ricky Seals-Jones and Joe Cordova, who's actually our long snapper, but he's actually injured right now, so that's not good. Trent Brown is still nicked up a little bit, but he's coming off a serious injury, but I don't know how much longer he has. We did sign him to a new contract last season during the season, so hopefully he can play out some of that contract. He's still 88 overall. Taylor Fleming, a rookie we drafted out of Washington, is going to back him up. And Cole Strange is still our starting left guard at 78 overall. Didn't really see any upgrades from him in the offseason, so we went with him. And Antonio Mafi is our backup left guard. David Andrews is back for one more season, 80 overall. This may be his last year in New England, though. He is one of the captains, 80 overall center, and Jake Andrews, of course, backing him up again like always. We brought back Sam Cosmi, 78 overall right guard. City Snow is backing him up at 73. Mike Onwue is back at right tackle, 84 overall. Lowe is backing him up. We got Justin Finkley, a rookie we drafted out of actually Texas. It doesn't say it, but I looked it up, and he actually went to Texas. So he is our starting left end, 74 overall, and Sam Roberts is backing him up. You know, going with Finkley as our starting left defensive end may be a little bit filled with question marks, but but the more I let the rookie play, the more I think he will develop. And we got Dedrick Wise Jr. once again at left end, and backing him up is going to be Keon White. Defensive tackle, we brought back Grover Stewart. Jaron Reed, we actually signed in the offseason, is going to back him up. And Gabe Hall, who we drafted a year ago out of Baylor, 67. He hasn't really developed super well, so he's still third string. We still have Matthew Judon, 81 overall outside linebacker. Tyrus Wheat's going to back him up. Jawan Bentley is still here, 84 overall. Brandon Smith's going to back him up. Travis Gibson we signed in the offseason, 74 overall, and backing him up is Sterling Weatherford. Corners still pretty much have the same nucleus of guys. Christian Gonzalez is up to an 85. Jonathan Jones is an 81. Will Johnson, who we actually drafted in the first round out of Michigan, is an 81. So our corner situation is looking better going into this season. We still have J.C. Jackson, we still have Jack Jones, and we still have Marcus Jones, but a lot of new faces in the secondary. Including this guy, Derek Forrest. We signed in the offseason, 82 overall free safety, and Sheldon McCray, who we drafted out of Clemson, is going to back him up. And starting strong safety, once again, is Jabril Peppers at 87 overall, and Marty Maupie is backing him up. We have Younghoe Koo as our new starting kicker. Chad Ryland is backing him up just in case, but I wanted to upgrade the kicking. And Bryce Behringer is our punter. So we do have 2 kickers. We may not keep that for the rest of the season, depending on any maybe moves we have to make during the season, whether we want to do trades or whether we want to sign any free agents due to any injuries that we have. I have optimism for this season way more than I did last season, because last year we didn't do so great. We missed out on the playoffs. I believe we went 6-11, so we didn't really do very well. And but we got a new quarterback. Mac Jones is gone. I don't know where he is right now, but Tua is our new quarterback, and I'm excited to see what he can do. And we also have a new head coach in Brandon Staley and a new offensive coordinator in Jonathan Gannon, formerly of the Cardinals, is their head coach. So we got a new coaching staff, new quarterback. Is that going to be enough to help us be better this season? Let's send to the middle of the season and see how the moves are working out. Are we going to once again be a 2-5 team, or are we going to be a little bit better with the 91 overall quarterback? I would think that we would be a little bit better than we were last season, but we'll see. You never know with these simulations in Madden. But getting Tua as our new quarterback, because Mac Jones was staying at a high 70 for the first 2 years of the franchise. So unfortunately, I think he hit his ceiling in terms of how much he's going to develop in terms of overall. So I just felt that we got to go out and we got to get a really good quarterback. In the last rebuild that I did with the Cardinals, that was the key. Now, Justin Fields was not really a major upgrade over Kyler Murray because he was in the 80s barely, but Murray got to a 77 in his second year, and he never really elevated himself beyond that. So hopefully Tua is an even better upgrade that will lead us to more success. The defense, though, may still be a little bit shaky in certain areas, especially at the defensive line and the linebacker positions outside of Judon, but our offense should be able to keep pace with a decent amount of teams in the league, so I think that will definitely help, but we'll see. Middle of the season, are we even any good? Or are we going to have to do some major moves? Okay, so we're not bad, but we're not really that great either. We're 3-4 right now. We are actually in second place in the AFC East. The Jets are 5-2, Dolphins 3-4, and the Bills are 3-4. So everybody's basically tied for third place in the division. So kind of a little bit of teams kind of fighting at the fighting tooth and nail for spots in the division. So, but we're better than we were at this point last season. Not a whole lot better, but we are a little bit better. So I'm liking that. I'm liking that just a little bit, not a lot, but a little. All right. Well, let's get to the negotiating screen and let's see. We already have 9 players we can negotiate with. Let's see who maybe we can think about bringing back. So here's the deal. You know, Trent Brown has missed a lot of time, and something tells me he might retire. So I'm going to wait till maybe the end of the season and see what happens. You know, Grover Stewart at an 87, it may be hard to beat that elsewhere, but we're going to hold off on that for a little bit. Now, Bentley has been good at linebacker, so I want to see if we can possibly bring him back. This is a 4-year deal. It's neutral, and he's excited to come back. That's great. We have a decent amount of cap room, so we can afford to bring some of these guys back. Now, bringing back Richard, I think may be big for the running game, so I want to get him back for another season to help with Stevenson out, because I want to have an offense that is going to be able to, you know, get the job done on the ground. It's simple as that. Now, Juju is our top receiver, and I don't want to commit to him for too much longer, but you know what? 3-year deal, if that's what he wants, let's go ahead and do it. 81, not really probably going to get too many upgrades better than him, and he fits our scheme, so that's what I like. And Jonathan Jones at an 80, definitely can see him one more year coming back, and I think that'll be worth it. Now, that leaves us with $82 million. Now, Koo, I'm not really going to bend over backwards for because we could get another kicker in the offseason other than him. Now, David Andrews is getting up there in age. He may retire, so who knows? Stange, you know, Jones, but he's down on the depth chart now. Same thing with Jack. And we've drafted guys, and we drafted Will Johnson, and we've signed guys in the offseason that are looking better than these two guys, Marcus and Jack Jones. So I think we're going to let these guys walk. Devontae Parker is decent, but I feel like with Kendrick Bourne, and we also got Rome still here, maybe we can get a better receiver in the offseason other than Parker. I'm not saying I'm not. If there's not really any good free agents out there, we'll bring him back. But yeah, you know, Thornton really doesn't have any interest in coming back, and he unfortunately has gone down the depth chart due to the fact that we brought back Kendrick Moore. We're going to bring back Juju. So, yeah, we're going to let Thornton walk. Reed, I liked him coming in this season. Kirk, we're going to let you walk away. We're going to get another backup quarterback. Bailey Zappi, I think we're also going to go ahead and let walk as well because, we can get more backup quarterbacks probably for cheaper in the draft and also in free agency this upcoming offseason. So I'm gonna wait to come back to see about Trent Brown and Grover Stewart towards the end of the season because right now I don't really know if I want to break the bank on those guys just yet and really offer them what they want. So we'll wait on it. It's in the final year of his contract. Yeah. All right. Well, we already got Juju back for a few more years, so he's good, locked in with the Patriots, ready to go. Okay. So, we're at 3-4 right now. We got a game against the 4-3 Colts. Can we get a win this week and get us at 500? That's what I'm hoping for. And we get the win. Get a 3-point win against the Colts. And we are facing against the Miami Dolphins. So we are now all alone at second place in the AFC East. So getting that win was pretty big to get us to be second place now in the division. So we're looking good. We're looking better than we were at this time last season. I should have said that instead of we're looking good because at 4-4, we still have a little ways to go. All right, let's answer our next media question. Let's see what Coachman has to say. Up and down season. Find a way and get to the playoffs because I think this is a playoff team. With Tua in here as our new quarterback, I don't know how you can look at this roster and say that we are not a playoff team. And Tua's going against his former team this week. The Miami Dolphins are coming into town. They still have Tyreek Hill. I'm not sure who their new quarterback is, but hopefully we can take care of business and win a key divisional matchup because we've got two divisional matchups back to back. We got the Dolphins and we have the Bills next week on the road. So these are two big games for us to try to get into fighting for the division crown. And we beat the Dolphins by 7, so Tua gets it done, and we are now sitting at 5-4. The Jets are still 7-2. At this point, I don't really know if we can catch them for the division title, so we may just be fighting for a wild card spot this year, but that's okay. Just hoping to see if we can get this team into the playoffs and maybe make a run. That's all I'm kind of really hoping for year 3. With the Cardinals rebuild, I was able to get them to the Super Bowl in the year 3, so maybe this is deja vu, but we'll see. I'm not guaranteeing anything just yet. We do play the Bills this week. The Bills are actually at the bottom of the division. I assume they still have Josh Allen. They definitely still have Stephon Diggs, so this is not a pushover team, but our overall actually has jumped up pretty well this season. We're 84, and we have an 85 overall offense and an 83 overall defense. So I think the changes that we've made right now are looking pretty good. But can we get a win against the Bills and get another key divisional win and get us up to 6 wins? That'll match our total already from last season if we do. We got to go up there to Buffalo, though. And we get it done. So we've won 3. We've definitely won like 3 in a row right now. So we are definitely playing. We're playing some good football right now. We really are. We're managing to get key divisional wins towards the back half of the season. That's what we need, and we're looking good. I'm excited about this season. I'm more excited now that we're doing well. All right, well, the Jets actually lost this past week, so we're only 1 game back from them for first place in the division. But we'll see what we can do. We have a tough matchup against the 5-4 Falcons this week. Bijan Robinson, in his 3rd NFL season, is already up to a 98 overall. So he's quickly become, in this franchise, one of the best backs in the league. And he's going to be a tough guy to deal with, especially since our defensive line is not really that great. That's the one thing I really haven't been able to get in this franchise is a big dominant pass rusher on the defensive line. Judon can rush, but he's not really a pass rusher specialist like Micah per se or T.J. Watt. So, that makes it a little bit difficult. But we get a 2-touchdown win against the Falcons. So, But the Jets won, so they're still one game ahead of us. We're on a bye week this week, so give a chance for some guys to heal and get ready for the next game. And next week we got to go on the road to Baltimore against the Ravens, who I assume still have Lamar Jackson, but I could be wrong. Let's see what new injuries we have. We may have some injuries to deal with. So, unfortunately, Dietrich Wise Jr. has a partial MCL tear, and he's out for 6 weeks. That's not good. And also, Tyrus Wheat is out for 2 weeks with a broken finger. Well, he's our backup, so I'm not too concerned about that. But Dietrich Wise being out for 6 weeks, I don't really know how well we can really manage that. So I'm going to go to the free agent pool and see if we can sign anybody for a right defensive end. I don't really know at this point of the season who's really available, but let's go ahead and take a look and see if we can find somebody. Just to fill in for, times during the rest of the season. Because I don't want to slow the momentum down. So the highest rated right end is Samson Ebekam. He's an 8-year pro. Randy Gregory's out there at 74. Let's go ahead and bring in Randy Gregory. I know he doesn't fit our scheme, but let's just bring him in as a fill-in for Dietrich Weiss while he recovers for 6 weeks. And hopefully getting Gregory in here will help in terms of just the right defensive side of the line. So let's go ahead and take a look at the depth chart now and make sure that Gregory is starting. Usually, in the real life NFL, you wouldn't normally do this. Have a guy just start right away when he comes in, even if he's a veteran. But we need some help on that defensive line, and Gregory actually is rated lower than Keon White because Wise is a 78. But I wanted to bring in Gregory for mostly for depth, so we could get some help there. Beyond Keon White. We don't really have much depth anyway, so I think that definitely helps. Finkley has gotten up a little bit, actually, to a 76, so he's looking better. Let me see how Will Johnson's developed this season. Has he gotten any better? So Will actually has gotten a little bit better. He's up to an 82 overall now, and he's basically our second-best corner, right next to Gonzalez, and Jonathan Jones is behind him. So our corner situation is looking a lot better, because Gonzalez and Johnson are coming into their own, and we drafted a really solid rookie in Will Johnson. Unfortunately, with signing Randy Gregory, we do have to cut one player, and I think what I'm probably going to do is cut our kicker, our backup kicker, I should say. You know what? Let's go ahead and just move Ryland to the practice squad, because I'm not likely going to bring back Koo, so let's just move into the practice squad for now, so hopefully we don't lose him. But then again, another team could pick him up if we put him on waivers. So we run the risk of that. But he's only a 73 overall kicker, so I don't really see many teams clawing for him at this point, unless they have a kicker who's out for like the season or something. But kicker injuries almost never happen in Madden. They usually never do. All right. So let's go ahead and move past the bye week. We've got the Ravens the next week. Then we have the Bucks, and we have the Jets. And Week 15 against the Jets could potentially be big if we can still find ways to win, and maybe they drop a few games, but we'll see. So I think the Jets might have had a bye week as well. The Jets have signed Chet. Speaking of the Jets, they signed away our kicker that we just put on practice squad. How about that? Oh, man. Well, it wouldn't be Jets-Patriots rivalry if, there wasn't some, taking away of talent from us. So it is what it is. I guess they don't have, maybe they need a new kicker, but I mean, if they still have Greg Zuerlein, I don't know why they would want to take Ryland from us, but I don't know if they have Greg or not. I don't know if Greg Leg is even retired. He may still not be in the league. Okay, well, anyway, looking beyond that, Lamar Jackson is still on the Baltimore Ravens. In some franchises, Lamar isn't a Raven, like the Ravens let him go after like the first couple of years, but in this universe, he's still a Raven, and the Ravens are good this year. They're 8-3, we're 7-4, so this is a pretty big matchup for us. Tua against Lamar, and I'm not saying we can't afford to lose this game, but if we lose, it's going to be a lot harder to fight for a spot in the playoffs. Let's go ahead and take a look at the playoff picture, and let's see if we are even in the mix. Well, we are as of right now. So the Ravens actually have the #1 seed at 8-3. So we're actually playing the best team in the AFC this week, so that's good if we can get a win against them. The Jets are the 2nd seed. The Texans are 7th, Titans are 3rd, Bengals are 6th, and the Chargers are 4th, and we're 5th. So we're right in the thick of it for the playoff hunt. So that makes me feel good that we have a chance to fight for a playoff spot this year. I think getting Tua really has made the big difference. Coaching, maybe, but getting Tua, I think, has made the major difference. We got a 91 overall quarterback, and it gives us a better chance to win games, especially late in the season. All right. Well, we're 7-4. The Ravens are 8-3. Can we get a win against the Ravens and continue to stay in the playoff hunt? We lose. I don't think it'll hurt very much, but it will drop us a few games out of possibly being in first place in the AFC East. And we get an upset win over the Ravens, 32-28. I think we've won like 4 games in a row now, maybe 5. So I think it has been 5. So, because yeah, we were at 3-4, so we've won 5 games in a row in the second half of the season. So that has absolutely been huge. And the Jets also lost, so we are tied with the Jets for first in the division. So we still have a chance to win the AFC East. And it looks like the Raiders signed Alex Green from our practice squad. He's a defensive end, a young guy that we put on waivers. So that's another guy that's been plucked away from us. We've had a lot of guys taken off our practice squad this year, but, you know, we took a risk, and that's what happens. But we got a tough matchup this week, actually, against the Bucs. They're pretty good this year. They're 8-4 because I think in the offseason, not only did they sign Nick Chubb, who's a 99 overall, but I think they signed the second-best running back in the free agency class. So they have probably the best running game in the National Football League this year. So this is going to be a tough matchup, but we're 8-4. They're coming to Gillette. In Week 14, at this point of the season, it's probably going to be cold. It's going to be snowy, maybe. So if they're used to playing in that Florida weather, maybe the Bucs will not be able to play very well in the cold. So hopefully we can get a win against them. It's a pretty big game. If we lose, we could. It's going to come down to next week for sure against the Jets because we got them next week after this game against the Bucs. So, yeah. And unfortunately, we dropped that game to the Bucs by 5. Well, the winning streak had to end at some point. Now, we're 8-5. The Jets are 9-4. If we can somehow pull off a win this week, I think the best we can probably do is tie them for the division lead, maybe again. But I think we'll still technically be in second place because I think they beat us earlier in the year. So we may not really have a chance to win the division, but I think we're still in the playoff hunt. So at least we're still in contention for that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the playoff picture once again. Make sure we're still in the hunt. Yeah, although unfortunately because of that loss, we actually dropped to the 6th seed. We're not in the last seed. That's where the Texans are right now. The Jets have actually leapfrogged the Ravens and have the number 1 seed. Ravens are back at 2. Texans are still 7th, and the Titans are still at 3rd, and the Chargers are still at 4th, and the Bengals slipped a little bit because I think they climbed up because they were the 6th seed, we were the 5 seed, but now we've switched because we had a loss to the Bucs. Well, still got a shot at the playoffs at the very least, but we can't go on a landslide now at this point of the season. If we can get a win against the Jets, it'll tell me a long way if we're going to be a playoff team or not. Hopefully we can get a win against the Jets. This is arguably our biggest game of the season. We win this game, we have a shot for the division and to still be a wild card team. But unfortunately we lose by 2 to the Jets, and 2 games out of first place for the division lead now. I don't think we got a chance at winning the division now unless the Jets go on a big losing streak to end the season. And not only that, but we still have to play the Bills at home. The Bills are not as good this year. As a matter of fact, let's see what their record is. They're actually 4-10, so they're not going to the playoffs. But they're still a good team, and we can't slip up. Let's take a look at the playoff picture. Let's see. We've lost 2 in a row. What did that do? Okay, so we're not out of the race. We're still at the 6th seed. The Texans are out of the playoff mix right now. The Chiefs have actually slipped back into the hunt. They're having a pretty down season for a team that's on the fringe of maybe possibly or possibly not making the playoffs. And the Jets are still the #1 seed. So if we make the playoffs, we're going to have to play the Jets at some point during the season, no question about it. So we're going to see them again. And hopefully if we get into the playoffs, we can get our revenge against the Jets. And I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is still their quarterback. I assume he may be still their quarterback, but we'll see kind of what they're looking like. Hopefully we do not lose this game against the Bills. If we do, we may be in trouble. We may be in trouble. Well, we don't. We get a 1-point win against the Bills. But a win's a win's a win's a win. It's not college, so it doesn't matter how many points you win by. And we've got matchups against a Panthers team that is likely not making the playoffs in the NFC. And we do have our last game of the regular season against the Chargers. They are in the playoff hunt. But right now I think we're better than them in terms of rankings. So let's take a look. Going into the final 2 weeks, we actually are back in the 5th seed, so that's good. So being back in the 5th seed makes me feel a little bit better. So mostly because if we for some reason drop one of these last 2 games, we're not out of the playoff picture, so makes it feel a little bit better. Let me take a look at the NFC. The Giants actually have the best record in the NFC. The Vikings are at the 2, 49ers at 7, Bucks at 3, Cowboys at 6, Seahawks at 4, and the Packers at 5. So both the New York teams have the best are the #1 seeds in the conferences. So that's pretty interesting. New Yorkers got to be happy about that. Well, the Panthers are still a decent team at an 81 overall. They're not going to the playoffs, but they're still a dangerous team. The best player is only a 90 overall, Brian Burns, right outside linebacker. So I'm not too worried about this game, but we still got to play. We still got to go out there and execute. Trust me. We're winning a lot of games, but we're not blowing teams out, so we're winning them close. Because like I said, our defense is still suspect in certain areas, and we lost to the Panthers. Wow, that's a bad loss. Lost by 5. What does that do with the playoff picture? So we're still 5th. All right, so that's not bad. So we're still 5th. So I think if we lose this week, because we're actually playing the Chargers, if we lose this week, they may one-hop us, and we may slip. Hopefully we don't slip up too much. Will Johnson's up to an 83, so he's already gotten in the 80 in almost the mid 80s in his first NFL season. So him as our first-round pick is looking better and better. That's definitely looking like it was the right pick. Even though we didn't necessarily need a corner, that first-round pick that we invested in is looking better and better. So I'm happy with Will's development so far this season. Well, 9-7 against 8-8. It's our last game of the regular season. Hopefully we can get a win against the Chargers, and hopefully we don't slip up. Because I'm nervous after losing to the Panthers. We could lose this game. And unfortunately we lost, but we're still in the playoffs. All right, well that makes me feel at least a little bit better. So unfortunately we're limping into the postseason. We've lost our last 2 games. One was to a non-playoff opponent. So let's see what the playoffs are looking like. So after we made it to the playoffs in the first season but lost in the wild card round, we're back in the playoffs in year 3. But we are the last seed. Unfortunately, with the loss, not only did we slip down 1 spot, but we slipped down 2 spots. So we're the last seed in the AFC playoffs this year. And we got to go, and we're going to be playing on the road for the rest of the playoffs. Unless the Bengals win, we are. We're the 7th seed. We're the last. So we're going to be playing on the road for the entire rest of the playoffs if we manage to make the Super Bowl. So this is going to be pretty tough. We got a tough matchup in the wild card round against the Ravens, and this is where I take over. Going on the road to his first playoff game as a Patriot. Let's go up to Baltimore and let's get ourselves and let's see if we can get ourselves a playoff win. Let's go ahead and make sure the uniforms are correct. All right, cool. Just had to make sure we're in the right uniforms. They had the Ravens wearing like the color rush ones for some reason. I didn't want that. Okay, well, this is it. Starting the playoffs. Last rebuild with the Cardinals, that was an epic playoff. We had a wild card game that I think went into double overtime, if I recall. I don't remember. I forgot who we played, but it was a pretty good team. Will the same thing happen against the Ravens? I kind of hope not. Hopefully we can take care of them in regulation, and we won't have too many problems with being able to beat with being able to take care of business. But hey, we're playing the 2 seed. We're the 7 seed. This is it. Wild card playoffs against the Ravens.
Today.
Gonna be tough. We are playing during the daytime here in Baltimore. So here we go.
And it looks like the New England
looks like they're going to go ahead and give us the first drive of the game to take the ball down the field and score. It's the first time playing with Tua in the regular season, at least for me.
Tua to throw right away.
And we get a completion to Juju. A few inches short, but that's okay.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield.
There we go. Watch Stevenson. If I hit that hole more to the left, he would have probably gotten tripped up like that, but he did.
Second and inches.
Still, we got the first. That's fine.
An invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot.
Gesicki is our only impact player on offense.
Third down to pick up the first down.
Come on, Tua. Oh! We got hit as he threw. I can't really knock him too much for that.
Stay with who you know.
But
and go get the
he almost hit him.
That's exactly what they did.
Going to the air. Tagovailoa. Being chased out left.
All right, well,
it's just
a couple of yards on the line. I know Tua's not the most mobile quarterback out there, but he's got some ability.
In search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Well,
throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here.
Here we go, Rome.
That is
go.
And they're well past midfield.
These guys are playing in their first playoff game, especially a lot of the young guys, so tough one. Looks like Strange is hurt, though. So
it looks like we have a Patriot injured on the play. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Seals Jones in motion.
Stevenson now on 1st and 10.
And we get another first down
he'll
on a nice run.
Inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Again, it's Stevenson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
4 yards.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle.
I want you to come back in, man.
And wing in a big way.
The re-injury risk is medium, so we're bringing you back in. Let's change some things. Let's change up this play.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw.
Juju, wide open down the middle. Nice grab. Let's go.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. So 1st and goal and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game. Here's Stevenson.
Right way in there. Touchdown, Patriots.
Touchdown.
Let's go.
Patriots.
We strike first with the Ramondre Stevenson touchdown. Big touchdown to open the scoring. And of course, the Ravens come back and score right away. So this is going to be a little bit of a back and forth affair. I got a feeling.
At this offense. They fake the handoff. Now Tua.
Oh, that's pass interference. Come on.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there.
Whenever they're in that animation, it's mostly pass interference.
He's got 2nd and 3rd down.
Funny, eh? Oh, and Tua got hit as he threw that one.
As he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Already in
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Tua sets up to pass it.
And Juju, get open. Caught it. Here we go. Broke away. Great catch. Big time catch by Juju.
The 50. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Play action. Now it's Tua.
Come on, Gesicki. We go tight end wide open for the first. Beautiful.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. On play action, here's Tua.
Here we go, Gesicki again. Actually, it wasn't Gesicki. That was Ricky Seals-Jones. Sorry, Ricky.
Ricky! 28 yards.
Boys in the
Two
hood.
big plays in succession. Yeah. Not sure this D knows what hit.
All right, let's see if we can run it in. Come on, Stevenson. If Stevenson gets in there for his second rushing touchdown of the afternoon, let's go. Keeping pace with the Ravens. That's what we got to do, especially with Lamar Jackson on the other sideline. All right, well, we're on defense for the first time in the game, at least I'm controlling. 2nd and 5. They're driving, though. They're trying to get points before the half. We're going to get them off the field if we can. Oh, my goodness. You know, we kind of laid a decent hit on Lamar, but he got that first down easily. They were doing that read option stuff. Spy, fumble to that. Here we go, Wise. Way to make that tackle. There we go.
Measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. And now Jackson will look to throw it. This one caught by his tight end.
Andrews caught it, but he's a few good yards short of the end zone. Great tackle right there by Bentley.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Keep him out of the end zone. Right here. Nope, he is short.
Terrific job there to keep him out
nice
of the
tackle.
end zone. And now it'll be
nice tackle short. Ross caught it, but he was short. Not surprised they would go for it here. Let's go with let's go with a blitz. Because I have a feeling what they're going to do. This is Lamar's run. Oh, my God, he got it.
It's a touchdown.
Well, Will had pretty good coverage, but it was still caught by number 4. I don't know who that is. But we have a chance to drive down the field and break the tie before halftime, so we got to take advantage.
Let's see, they'll have to be pretty efficient with their time here. Watch the clock.
Oh no, Stevenson. Okay, he caught it anyway. That was a bad throw off. That was a bad throw by Tua off my back foot. I shouldn't have made him throw the ball like that. Because that ball hung up there, and if Stevenson doesn't come down with it, that's an interception. So, not the prettiest of throws, but it got there. But I got to be careful.
Now Tua.
Juju, come on. Nice catch by Juju. Let's go. Now we're in business.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Looking to pass. Tua.
Come on, Stevenson.
They set up the screen for Stevenson.
There we go. That guy actually held me. He kind of pushed Stevenson forward a little bit.
Now the Patriots moving quickly, hustling up to the line. Off of play action. Tagovailoa.
Come on, Juju. Make that other catch. Touchdown, Juju. And Tua gets his first touchdown pass of the game. And it goes to Juju. Efficient drive to end the half. Running the no huddle. But the Ravens are knocking on the door, too.
Brewing for this defense after that last play is
21-14.
First and goal.
Can we make a stop? Because the Ravens do get the ball coming out of the half. It's 1st and goal. Can we stop them?
Throwing is Jackson.
Throws it out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. There's only 8 seconds left, so they gotta get something quick.
Looking. No one ever came open. So in the end, he makes the best decision.
Gotta score either on this play or the next play. Or they're not gonna get. Oh! And we get a sack. That is huge. And they don't have any timeouts left, so they don't get anything to end the half. That is a huge defensive stand. That was huge. Big time defensive stand there to end the half. Now, the Ravens do get the ball to start the second half because we started with it.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute.
If they tie it, we still got a shot. That was pretty big because if they had scored there, they would have gotten the ball with a chance to take the lead starting the second half. So getting that stop was pretty big.
We saw a solid first half from the Oklahoma man, Ramondre Stevenson. He chipped in a couple of touchdown runs as he was running with determination right from the word go.
All right, right, Coach. Thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
All right. So the Ravens get the ball to start the second
no run
half.
back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback.
And there they go down the field once again. Second down and 4.
Second down now, this defense sort of
Defense has not really stopped them much today.
Ball in the red
Second
zone.
and 4.
On second down, they'll
Right,
run
make
it
the
here.
tackle there.
And
There's
he'll
a
get
third
this
down
down
and
over
3.
to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. From the gun, they'll try to run
it. Great tackle right there by Alexander. That was huge. So now that just forces them into a field goal.
Head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes
Huge
Justin
play
Tucker
right there
for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good.
All right, so the Ravens do get a field goal, so they pulled in within 4. But we've scored on every drive. We've had a very good showing so far from Tua in this game. Can we get down the field and score again? So, well, unfortunately we don't. And the Ravens in the third quarter with the ball. They got a chance to take the lead now. It's 1st and 10.
It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th.
All right, well, Lamar got a pretty nice run right there, so now it's
3 yards 7 there on the first down keeper. Now 2nd and 3. Now a handoff.
Flag. Hopefully it's on them, not on us. Hopefully it's a hold.
About the 9.
Okay, it's on them. Good.
The offense knew it. They
Holding
were
second down
walk
and
back as that one is accepted. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Jackson options.
There we go.
Left.
Way to contain him, D. Nice tackle by Judon right there. Man, 3rd down and 16.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher.
Looks like Frank Reich is their new head coach. Harbaugh must have retired.
Jackson now.
Sack on Lamar Jackson. Great job. That's just what we needed. Wise beat his man cleanly off the ball and got in there for the sack. All right, well, Tucker will probably make this field goal to pull them within 1. We got to get down the field on offense on our next possession and really get some distance because they quickly pulled to within 1 point, and we didn't do anything in the third quarter on offense. So this is a big drive for us coming up. Hopefully they let us take control of this drive at some point and try to get this win. Well, unfortunately, we didn't get anything on that drive either. But the Ravens are just now starting their drive.
Obviously, the time is now trailing here in the 4th as they go to work on a crucial drive, 1st and 10.
There we go.
And he'll be tackled at the 23
Well,
after
if they
a
kick a
gain
field
of
goal,
3.
that gives us a chance. Well, even if they score touchdowns,
There's a 2nd and 7.
I don't want them to get a touchdown, so that way it doesn't give us any time to do anything.
Now it's Jackson. He's going to
And I
have
think
the
he's
hook up
short.
to Ross.
All right, he's a yard short. I think they're going to let this thing trickle down to the 2-minute warning without running another play. They will. Okay, so it's a 2-minute warning. We're up by 1, but the Ravens are driving. And all they need is a field goal, essentially, to win. But they still have a way to go just to get to a field goal attempt.
Throwing Jackson.
Got to play good defense there. Okay, well, they didn't get too far with that catch.
Taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Of course, they're going to go up tempo.
Jackson trying to hustle his unit up quickly to the line of scrimmage. Jackson, he'll go right back to
Andrews did step out of bounds, but he only gained 6
goes out
yards.
right around the 39. Time not an issue just yet, but we'll be watching the clock for sure. Here's 2nd down.
Tucker's range is good from 60, so
Jackson.
I don't know if I want them to go much further. Oh my God!
And Jackson's so tough to stop.
And I couldn't get a hit on Jackson cleanly to try to maybe knock the ball loose.
Here's Jackson.
Okay, he threw it. It's incomplete.
Incomplete.
2nd and 10.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the
Got to make a play here. Somebody's got to make a play here.
It may be a non-stop push
All right.
to finish this drive.
Well, I think they are in field goal range essentially.
Because I think they're going to try and get several plays.
They may not know it, but I think they pretty much are.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as he's able to get 8 yards.
After this play, we got to call timeout.
Caught by Allen.
We got to call timeout because we're not going to have any time.
We're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. Well, they come out and take a look at him.
All right, well, actually, they had to call timeout because of an injury. Well, they're going to be running the ball for the rest of this, so...
On second down, here's Mitchell.
Timeout.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On third down, here's Mitchell.
All right. Timeout. All right. So they're going to kick a field goal. It's fourth down. They'd be stupid not to kick a field goal.
That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So
but we still have 1 timeout left.
In a big spot.
I'm not going to ice him because I want to save that timeout. Just let him make it.
Tucker's kick.
All right, well, the Ravens have taken the lead for the first time in the game, but all we need is a field goal to win this game, drive down the field. But Tua's got to put together the drive of his life to win this game.
With a first down as they begin the drive.
We have 31 seconds left to do this.
Because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, we do have one of the better kickers.
I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
Juju, I really need you to hang on to that ball, man. You got to hold on to the ball.
To see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Side. I mean, Juju's been money all day, but oh no. He's covered. Run it, Tua, run it. Get out of bounds. Okay, great job. All right. Good job to escape and get up the sideline. Heck of a play. All right, we have 17 seconds left, but we don't have a lot of time.
One last check. Keep your quarterback from getting hit. That's a big check.
Yeah, check there as well. Good call.
Juju caught it.
With a great catch. And he's going to be brought down right there after the catch at the 34.
Timeout. Call timeout.
The clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch
51 yards.
For what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I,
of course, they're going to ice me.
This is where you need a quarterback who can keep his quarterback there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And I hate when you get iced in this game because it messes with the meter and everything, and it's not the easiest meter to do. 51 yards.
Younghoe Koo, all eyes fixated on the kicker.
Yards.
This to advance to the divisional round.
Come on, Koo. No! Oh,
he missed it.
Oh my God, no! Oh, God, Koo. Oh. Oh my God.
And Charles, on the losing side of things, you know, they didn't come in here as the favorite to these playoffs, but they came in with a lot of hope and anticipation.
Rough.
Tough to have that all snuffed out so quickly.
It really is. You're one of 12 teams when the playoffs begin that still has a chance to win the Super Bowl.
We played so well in the first half of this game.
And as you often talk about, a lot of hope when the playoffs
start.
But,
you know,
that ended for them.
We played
when they look back,
pretty,
have a lot to be proud of.
We played pretty bad overall in that second half. We didn't score a point the whole second half. The Ravens battled all the way back. They got the lead on us, and we missed the game-winning field goal. Oh, my God. Oh, that is rough. That's about as rough as in the last Madden when I was doing the Texans rebuild, and we were one game away from the Super Bowl, and we lost to the Broncos with a chance to win it. I'm getting the same vibes, but, you know, we had a better season this year. We made it back to the playoffs. Tua, I think, is the long-term solution that we need. Unfortunately, we've got a lot of our practice squad players that got signed. So we lose to the Ravens. They're going on to the divisional round. We're going home. Oh, that's rough. That's just a crummy way to end what was a pretty good season. At one point, we won 5 in a row. We did lose a few games down the stretch, but it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Pro Bowl roster, and let's see if any of our Patriots made it. No quarterbacks, so Tua didn't make it. Gesicki, our tight end, made it for the second year in a row, because I believe he made the Pro Bowl last year. Let's see if any linemen made it. Looks like no linemen made it. What about defensive players? Defensive guys? Looks like no. Oh, Koo made it, even though he missed the field goal. But hey, it was a playoff miss. So Koo and Gesicki are our only Pro Bowlers this year, so not a whole lot of representation up there in Vegas. And it looks like this year's Super Bowl is the Cowboys once again against the Ravens. So the Ravens beat us, and they made it all the way to the Super Bowl. So they defeated the Jets during their trip down to the Super Bowl. Let's see what happens. So we lost, of course, to the Ravens. They went ahead and beat the Titans, and then they beat the Jets on the road. So, wow. So the Cowboys, they actually had the #1 seed. So they waited, they played the 49ers, and they beat them. The Bucs beat the Seahawks, so it was Cowboys, Bucs in the NFC Championship, and it was Jets, Ravens in the AFC. So it's Cowboys, Ravens in the Super Bowl. So Dallas won a Super Bowl in, I think last year in this franchise and the year before. So they're going for the third one, and I think they may be going for a three-peat. I don't know. I think they actually lost last year in the Super Bowl. All right, well, let's go ahead and advance to Super Bowl week, and we'll wrap up year 3. Well, couldn't rebuild this team as quickly as the Cardinals franchise because I just didn't get as lucky in our first playoff game. So we still got some work to do with the Patriots rebuild. Let's go ahead and view yearly awards. Let's see if any Patriots are even in contention for anything. So Dak Prescott won MVP. And Coach of the Year went to Gary Crawford from the Jets. Okay, so he's a new coach. AFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Jamar Chase. No Patriots in here. Defensive Player of the Year. No Patriots in there either. Offensive Rookie of the Year. What about Will Johnson? Did he get any love for Defensive Rookie of the Year? No. Best QB. Tua finished 9th. Best running back. Ramondre Stevenson finished 10th. But you know what? Some part of me thinks that the running game may need a little bit of an upgrade, maybe a 1-2 punch to go along with Stevenson. Or maybe just have somebody leapfrog him and to have Stevenson be more of a reserve role, third down specialist. Any Patriots for receiver? No, Juju didn't get up there. No love for any Patriots linemen, offensive or defensive. Best linebacker, Matthew Judon finished 5th. All right. Best defensive back. Nope. Best kicker. Koo finished 3rd. Cool. And that's it. So, not a lot of Patriots receiving a lot of love. I mean, although Gesicki did make the Pro Bowl, so probably for best tight end in the AFC, he might have been up there a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and advance to the Super Bowl. Let's see who wins the big game in year 3. It ain't us. So it looks like the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. And let me see actually what happened last season. So the Cowboys beat the Bills to win their 6th Super Bowl. And they beat... So the Cowboys have been in the Super Bowl all 3 years. They lost the first year of this rebuild to the Chiefs. Then they came back and beat the Bills. And then they beat the Ravens. So the Cowboys are basically the top dogs in this universe. So, shout out to my Cowboys, but Ain't about them in these series of videos. It's about rebuilding the New England Patriots. So, you know, it was just, like I said, it's just a crummy way to end a good year. You know, to miss a field goal in the final seconds and lose after we didn't do anything in the second half was just bad. But you know what? That gives me an indication of what we need to do in the offseason. We may need one more good playmaker on offense at receiver, or maybe even a running back. And we also will probably need some upgrades on defense, because at times it looked like our defense was pretty shaky. I mean, finishing 9-8, that's good, but it's not great. And outside of Judon and our secondary, our defensive line really could use a good pass rusher and some upgrades there. Although we did get to Lamar Jackson at times during the playoffs in that game, we still need some work to be done on the defensive line. Because right now our top needs are linebacker, center, and middle linebacker. We definitely need some linebacker help to go alongside Judon. He's our best linebacker, but we need to upgrade there and really get some help for that on defense, because we haven't really gotten a lot of good young. We've gotten some good young defensive players, but none of them have really made an impact so far outside of Will Johnson, who we drafted this year as a rookie for year 3. So, you know, maybe we can land another stud on defense in the draft if we don't get anybody that's good in free agency. But defensive line, I think, needs to be one of the main priorities. We have to do some upgrades there. So let's really kind of get to the first stage of the offseason, and I want to take a look at retirements, because I want to see, because we have some aging guys, and I want to know if any of those guys are retiring. Maybe like David Andrews, our center, or maybe or maybe Trent Brown. He was injured this year again, so he may retire. Well, let's see who retired. Let's see. Do we have any big names retire? Well, Harrison Smith retired. D-Hop retired. So did Geno Smith. So did Cameron Jordan. All right, it looks like I saw it down at the bottom, but let me see who else retired. It looks like Andrews did end up retiring, so I'm glad that I decided not to offer him a contract. Yeah, he's our only retirement, so he's retired after 11 years. You know, he's been here. He was here during the tail end of the Tom Brady era, and he's been through a few quarterbacks since 2020. So, you know, David, you know, you didn't really make all pros, but you were a solid player for us to start off this rebuild, but good luck in retirement, sir. But he's our only player who's retired. So it looks like Trent Brown will be back this season, like he's going to play. So we may need to look at bringing him back. But with Andrews being out of the fold, we don't have to worry about cap room so much. So, you know, let's see about Trent Brown. And let's see if this is enough to bring him back on this one-year deal. Offers perfect. Okay, cool. So Trent Brown's interest actually grew up a little bit. So that's good. He was interested in coming back. And, you know, Grover Stewart, I think we're just going to move on from him and see if we can get another better defensive lineman. And you know what? Maybe we should... You know what? Cole Strange has been solid, but I think we can get somebody better than him in the offseason. I want to look and see if there is anybody else. If we can't, we will bring back Cole. If we can't, we will bring back Cole. So I think I'm just going to let Devontae Parker walk. And the same thing with the Jones guys at corner. We have good depth at corner now with Will Johnson. He's developed very well. Jonathan Jones, and we have Christian Gonzalez. So we have 3 really good corners. So we're going to look to draft maybe some corners to help out on the back end. And, you know, we're going to let some of our receiver depth walk with Devontae Parker and Thornton leaving. These guys didn't really have as much of an impact this season as they've had in years past, so they're expendable. And Reed, you know, was solid, but I think we can get somebody better in the offseason to help with the defensive tackle spot. You know, Quan Alexander's getting up there in age. He's gone down to a 67, so I'm not really going to bring him back. Lowe's our backup right tackle, but we can replace him. And Bailey Zappi's going to be heading out the door as well. And the same thing with Ricky Seals-Jones. We can get a better tight end to back up Gesicki than him. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're going into the offseason looking like. We don't have huge gaps to fill, but I feel like during this free agency period, we need to get some upgrades on defense big time. Let's take a look at Mock Draft 3, and let's see where we're picking right now. And this is, I think, the last accurate draft class that we're going to have, because I don't think anybody's made one for 2000 and I don't know, 27 or something. So let's take a look here at where we're projected to pick. So Arch Manning is actually projected to be the first, no, not the first quarterback. So the first quarterback projected to go off the board is Malachi Nelson out of USC, the guy who's replaced Caleb Williams. And it looks like he's done pretty well. He's projected to go to the Browns at 5. And Arch Manning out of Texas, he's projected to go to the Broncos at 6. So as far as quarterbacks, pretty interesting. Let's see. So we are projected to take Raekwon Baisley out of Texas A&M, a defensive tackle. Now, we could use a defensive tackle for sure, because Grover Stewart is somebody we're not going to bring back. So if we don't get any better tackles than defensive tackles than him in free agency, and nobody's really better than him, we may go with Baisley if he's still there, because there's no guarantee that he'll be there. If not, there's like a tight end and a corner that's projected to go around there. Could look at that. We could look to bring in maybe another receiver, but we need to get defensive this offseason. We need to get defensive help. If there's another really, really good receiver or a running back out there, I'll definitely look at that. But it's got to be something that's going to blow me away in a free agency. If not, we're just going to go ahead and look to do some upgrades to the draft. And that's what we're going to do. So before we go ahead before I wrap up this live stream, I want to take a look at the free agency class and see who is out here, who we can look to go after. Like, who are some of the big names out there that we can go after in the offseason. So let's take a look. So Brian Robinson Jr., I think he used to be with Washington, is actually the top free agent and only 88 overall. We could use a upgrade at running back, yes. Tyler Lockett is out there, and David Montgomery actually is out there, and he fits our scheme. So there's really, really good running backs available for this offseason. I think I might look to bring in David Montgomery just to give us more help in the running game. Even though I like Stevenson, we got to make a better playoff run this next year coming up, and to do that, we need to get some big, talented guys in here. And we have a lot of cap room too. We have $95.3 million, so we can spend some money this offseason. No quarterbacks are better than what we have, so these guys are meh. Receiver-wise, Tyler Lockett's the best free agent receiver. Romeo Doubs has actually gone up to an 81, so he's developed well in Green Bay. But if we look to bring in another receiver, maybe somebody towards the bottom, maybe like Duvernay, or maybe somebody like Osborne or Robinson, maybe. And we do need a backup tight end. We could probably look to bring in, I don't know, maybe Otten or maybe Dolchich to back up Gesicki. We do need a new center because Andrews retired, so that's actually a big position we got to upgrade. And Nick Harris is the top guy, so we may go after him. And we do need a new right guard, but Cosme is still there, but I think we just got to look to upgrade that in maybe the draft, or maybe do a trade to upgrade our right guard position a little bit better. And then as far as right tackle, we don't really need help there. Defensive end, nobody in the 80s. And Grover Stewart's the top defensive tackle. Well, Grady Jarrett is a right end, and we could use an upgrade there, and he fits our scheme. We may go after Grady Jarrett. That might be the move. Middle linebackers, we did bring back Bentley, and there's not really anybody better than him. TJ Edwards is out there, 80 overall. He could be an upgrade. Don't really need any corners. Kickers, probably go for after Carlson because we need a new kicker. Okay. So this actually is a good free agency class for running backs, which kind of in a way is a position that we can look at to invest in at least a little bit. But we still got to go defensive for the majority of free agency. We just have to. And also the draft this offseason, because we've got quite a few holes to fill. Let me actually go look at the roster before we end this live stream and see what holes we have to fill. Well, one thing we actually do have to do is that we have to get a backup quarterback, because Tua's our only quarterback on the roster, so we need somebody to back him up. like I said, Stevenson actually has gone up to an 85, but if we get a Montgomery in here, I think that'd be a good 1-2 punch because, Henderson's developed okay, but having 3 running backs in the 80s, that might be a luxury, especially in case one guy goes down. And as far as receiver, after, Juju, we don't have any guys in the 80s, so we may look to go out and get another receiver maybe in the draft. Gesicki is still here, Trent Brown. We need a left guard, and we need a new center. Jake Andrews is a 70, but we need somebody better than that. And we also need a new right guard, and we need a backup right tackle. So we have to do some upgrades on the offensive line. Left end, I don't really think there was anything better than Justin Finkley. And also, Keon White actually has gotten better than Detroit Wise Jr. So, White may be the guy for the future, even a 3-year pro at 77 overall. So he's developed a little bit. At defensive tackle, we absolutely need to invest at least in the offseason and in free agency because Gabe Hall, he's a 67, and he hasn't developed in the 2 years that he's been here. So that's discouraging to see. We have Bentley, 83, and so we definitely need an upgraded right outside linebacker. We signed Gibson last season, but TJ Edwards is out there. So I think we should go after him. And as far as corners, we just need guys for depth. I think we could use at least one more corner for depth reasons to help us out in the secondary because we did let a few guys walk. We still have Forrest. What is he up to? He's up to an 82. Okay. And Peppers is still at 86. But we need a kicker, and we still have a punter. Behringer's still here, so we're good there. All right. Well, another offseason coming up where, we got to upgrade some spots, but not every spot is needing an upgrade. But that's where I'm going to leave it right here. So we're going to go ahead and end this live stream right here. Really discouraged that we couldn't go farther in the playoffs because I finally managed to get this team back into a postseason team, but we just couldn't get it done. Couldn't even win one game. So in the 3 years that Tom Brady's been the owner of this team, we've gotten to the playoffs twice, and we've lost in the wild card round twice. So this 4th year, really hoping that in this 4th year we can really just flat out get better, that we can actually make a playoff run, and that we can make some noise in the postseason. So that's what I'm hoping for. But thank y'all for checking out the live stream. I may, if I feel up to it, come back with another live stream of the Patriots rebuild tomorrow. And I really want to try to start up another rebuild or another series to kind of go along with this one. So I got kind of 2 going on at the same time. It's kind of like that when I had the Cowboys one and a rebuild of a random team at the same time. But I'm not really sure what I want to do yet. I'm still thinking about who my next rebuild project will be with. But I don't know yet. But in the meantime, thank you guys for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video. Have a good rest of your Monday.